In today's video, I'm going to go over why you should try to maximize your Social Security benefit and how you can do it. So when you want to retire early, a lot of people don't think about Social Security because it's so far away. And to what extent will it still be there? Some people go, Ari, I don't want to include it in my plan at all. Other people, it's no, I do want to include it. I've been hearing about different things, but I want to at least include it to a certain extent. So here are the things today that I'm going to go over so that you can make sure you're maximizing your ability to collect what you've been paying into for so many years. Once again, my name is Ari Taublieb. I am a financial planner that specializes in early retirement planning. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast and vice president here at Root Financial Partners. If you're looking for a one-stop shop for everything related to an early retirement, from healthcare all the way to investing to taxes to estate planning, you're in the right spot. So feel free to check out other videos and subscribe for more content like this. So let's go over how you can maximize your benefit by first understanding how on earth Social Security is even calculated. So here's what it looks like. Social Security is not funded by regular income taxes. It's actually by payroll taxes. And it starts with 6.2% on the first $160,200 of wages in 2023. That's also matched by your employer, so the total is 12.4%. Now there's another 1.45% that is on top of that for Medicare that your employer also contributes to. Social Security is based on your 35 highest years of earnings. So if there's any years where you had a zero for potential income, that plays a big role in terms of what your Social Security benefit is going to look like. And as you can imagine, a lot of people that come to me, they want to retire early, call it before age 65. So if they are retiring early, they have to remember that's going to impact their future Social Security benefit. Not a good or bad thing. We just need to make sure if you're in a position to retire early, great. Don't have to worry about the potential lost dollars there of that Social Security benefit. I would rather you look at it comprehensively, holistically, if you will, where it's, yeah, maybe we're giving up this potential benefit here of a few $100 every single month, which we don't want to discount, but also we understand if you're in a position where you can meet all of your goals. I have seen situations where people will keep working to maximize their Social Security benefit even though they have more than enough money to be able to do everything they want to do. So you never want the Social Security tail to whale the early retirement dog. Not a great phrase there, but hopefully it resonated a little bit. So the maximum earnings, $160,200, that's the most that you could make sure that you're collecting that Social Security max benefit, if you will, amount for. Now in 1993, the max earnings was $57,600. So certainly quite a shift. But Social Security is means tested. Here's what that means. The max, once again, is $160,200. What that means is that 90% of the first $1,115, that's included. 32% of the amount between $1,115 and $6,721 is included, and 15% of that amount goes all the way up to the $160,200. So here's a better way of looking at this like English. If your average inflation-adjusted earnings are half of that, so half of $160,200, call it $80,100, it doesn't mean you get half the benefit. It's means tested, so based on the different amounts, you're capturing a certain amount of that. It's not a half for half type of benefit. So what's my overall message here? Make sure even if you're doing a little bit of part-time income, maybe it's 20 or 30,000 bucks, some people go, Ari, is that gonna still max my Social Security benefit? Well, having even a small amount of relatively, call it part-time income, can play a major role when it comes to maximizing your Social Security benefit, especially if you're retiring early. Let's assume you start working at 25, which for most of you, it's much earlier than that. I know a lot of people go, Ari, I've been working since I'm 16, but let's just use 25 for this example here, and you want to retire at 55. Well, if that's the case, that's 30 years of earnings, but that means that there's 5 years where there's a big old zero there. So doing some part-time income can absolutely help, especially if you enjoy doing it as well. With Social Security, you can collect as early as age 62. You can collect full retirement age, which is about 66 in 10 months or 8 months, or 67 depending on when you were born, and age 70. Anywhere in between there, you can also collect. So really it has to be based on your income strategy. Overall takeaways here, how do you maximize your benefit? The first $6,721 of earnings, that plays a big role, the majority of your role, when it comes to Social Security maxing. So if you're trying to think about, okay, should I retire early? Part-time income can make a big difference to make sure that you're maximizing your benefit. You don't need to make $100,000, even if it's just a little bit of income. That is much better than getting a big old zero right there. Wait to collect your benefit if possible. If you don't need the income, more often than not, it makes sense to delay. Now, if you need the income, it's not a bad thing. And there's more to think through this, especially life expectancy and health and all these other things that I'll talk about at the end of today's video. But every year that you delay, for example, you are increasing your benefit, and that's about 5 to 6.5% more than that once you hit full retirement age. From full retirement to age 70, it's really an 8% benefit. So the more you can delay, the more you're increasing that benefit that you're locking in forever. The difference is, if, for example, you have major health considerations, and I'll ask my clients this, and if you knew, God forbid, that you were going to pass in your early 70s, it might make sense to collect earlier, even if it's a smaller amount, because you're collecting it for more years. Technically, it's between a 5 to 6.67% decrease when you're collecting each year before full retirement age. Don't forget about your spouse. Consider spousal benefits to increase your overall Social Security benefits as a team. You're a family here. So the way you look at Social Security needs to be together. If, for example, that you have a full retirement age benefit of, call it $2,000 a month, and your partner has no benefit, meaning they have not worked, they're eligible for half of your $2,000 benefit once you begin collecting your benefits. So they are eligible for half of that full retirement age, which would be $1,000 in this example if your full retirement benefit is $2,000. Now, let's pretend that at age 70, you could collect for $2,500 instead of $2,000. Would they get half of that? No. They only are eligible for half of your full retirement age, also known as your primary insurance amount benefit. That spousal benefit I mentioned, that includes if you are a divorced spouse as long as you were married for over 10 years and did not remarry. Don't forget about survivor benefits. If your spouse passed away, you are eligible for 100% of their Social Security benefit. Not only that, but with good planning, you can collect either your benefit or that survivor's benefit, allowing the other to continue to grow and then switch to that benefit at a later time. For example, maybe you collect your benefit at age 67, allowing the survivor's benefit to keep growing, getting that 8% growth, and then by age 70, you can switch and collect that larger benefit. This also applies to deceased ex-spouses. If you divorced and your ex-spouse passed away, then you are eligible for this same strategy with survivor benefits. I hope these tips were helpful when it comes to maximizing your Social Security benefit. All of this is wonderful, but here are some things you need to think through. How long am I going to live? None of us know, of course, exactly, but most of us have a sense of, okay, are we in good health? If you are, more often than not, it makes sense to continue to delay to maximize your long-term benefit. I often talk about Roth conversions on my YouTube and podcast episodes. The reason that they're so important is they allow you to move money from a pre-tax IRA to an after-tax known as a Roth account so that you never pay taxes ever again. One of the best ways to implement these strategically is to intentionally defer that Social Security benefit, allowing more years where you can fill up certain brackets so that more income is tax-free forever. So as you're looking at Social Security, make sure you're considering that decision in light of your spouse, in light of your taxes, in light of your investments, in light of what you need your portfolio to support for you so you can create the income that you need. So as you can imagine, there's a lot to this. If you want a custom strategy so you can retire early, reach out to myself. Happy to go through my planning process with you so you can see if I can add enough value to justify my fee. I tell people, please do not hire me if I cannot show you I can add value in excess of my fee, both quantifiable value and the not so quantifiable value, which I go over during my planning process. Social Security is just one aspect to a good financial plan, but it's important. So make sure you consider it as you're looking at your holistic financial picture. If this video was helpful and you're looking for more early retirement tips, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you don't know, I am the host of the Early Retirement Podcast, and this is what I love doing. I help people create a custom strategy to retire early. You can always reach out to me or a member of our team here at Root, and we would be happy to walk you through our planning process to show you how we can help you get more life out of your money.